Also wenn Closed Beta in den nächsten Monaten ist, würde ich jetzt mal fachsimpeln, wird sagen, ends 0 eher Richtung Herbst. Weil ich sag's mal so, wenn dann einer Closed Beta hat und der andere nicht und man halt dann, ich sag mal, als Außenstehender den Hintergrund des Auswahlprinzips nicht versteht, dann gibt's halt Stunden. Ne?
It's coming! Stay calm! It's happening! Everybody stay calm!
Moin, ihr Lieben, herzlich willkommen. Alter, heute ist hier Tag der Reactions. Ich bin immer noch ein Waschbär, ja, richtig und wichtig. Und wir nutzen den Zeitpunkt, um uns jetzt gerade auch noch das weitere Video von Coffee Stain anzugucken, was noch rauskam. Bezüglich der Closed Beta, wie man im letzten Video schon gesehen hat, soll ja vor der 1.0 eine Closed Beta kommen. Und bin sehr gespannt, was uns da jetzt so verraten wird.
Boop!
Boop!
Hi everyone, my name is Snoot. I am one of the community managers at Coffee Stain Studios, and wow, we're super glad that you were all so excited over last week's video. The reception of that video has been super good, and we're so glad that you're all so stoked for 1.0 essentially. If you haven't seen that video, there should be a card here somewhere, but yeah, essentially we have announced that 1.0 is coming. Our next milestone that we're working towards is 1.0. There won't be any more updates for Satisfactory in early access. 1.0 is coming.
It's coming! Stay calm! It's happening! Everybody stay calm!
Today I want to talk about some questions that came from last week's video, and they're mostly going to be pertaining the closed beta. So I just want to make this really short video sort of answering some of those questions, and yeah, that's mainly what this video is going to be about, the closed beta. So we're not going to run a public experimental period for 1.0 like we've done in the past. Instead, we're going to run a closed beta for people to be able to join in and give us that last bit of feedback, and we'll polish it up and use that feedback to be able to make the game as good as we can be for the final release. Anyone can sign up for the closed beta, and you can find a link.
Also wenn ihr Bock habt, ich werde es wahrscheinlich, wenn Zukunft nicht dran denkt, werde ich es auch in die Videobeschreibung schreiben, aber genau, Closed Beta, gerne mal gucken, wenn ihr Bock habt.
In the description. And with that being said, let's jump into some of the questions. When will the closed beta run? We don't know when it will be. We're currently working on making the game feature complete. And once we've done that, there's gonna be a little bit of like internal testing to make sure that, you know, when we're in closed beta, that we don't have it so that like people test stuff that we already know is broken and that kind of stuff. So there's gonna be like a bit of an internal testing phase before we actually get to that point. What the fuck was that? And then once the game is feature complete, then we're gonna have our own internal testing a little bit to make sure that we don't have like any lingering major issues that, you know, is gonna be evident when we enter closed beta. Because when we enter closed beta, we want to catch stuff that, you know, we didn't find. So if
Klingt sinnvoll, ja. Also vorher das eigene Game testen, bevor er irgendwie Beta-Tester drauf loslässt, ist durchaus eine gute Idee.
there's any like issues in the game that we already know of when we enter closed beta, we won't get as much out of it, essentially. So
Ich bin vor allen Dingen mal gespannt, ich weiß nicht, ob die das in dem Video noch, also ob er das in dem Video noch sagt, aber mich würde es interessieren, wie viele Tester die suchen. Also in welchem zahlenmäßigen Bereich wir uns jetzt befinden. Ob das irgendwie, was weiß ich, 100, 1000, 10.000, keine Ahnung. Also aber sagen wir mal so, wenn wir jetzt in die Richtung 10.000 gehen, das ist ja dann auch schon eine nicht so sehr geclosed Beta. Aber let's see.
we're gonna have our own internal testing first before, in between feature complete and closed beta. But yeah, once we get to that point, we'll let you all know. It should be sometime within the next couple of months, hopefully.
In den nächsten Monaten schon. Okay, in den nächsten Monaten, das heißt wahrscheinlich. Also wenn Closed Beta in den nächsten Monaten ist, würde ich jetzt mal fachsimpeln, wird sagen, ends 0 eher Richtung Herbst. September, Oktober, maybe later.
Maybe, it depends if we run into complications before then. But yeah, we will let you all know.
Ich lese gerade hier im Chat, Steffi würde alle Fehler finden. Also ich bin so ein bisschen an die auf YouTube, ich bin so ein bisschen irgendwie Expertin da drin, Bugs in Game zu finden. Grüße an Ico gerade an der Stelle, da war er schon einiges experienced. Also, ich glaube, ich wäre wie gemacht dafür eigentlich. Aber, ne, ich sehe jetzt hier gerade NDA auch schon. Also, ich bin mal gespannt. Mir wurde schon so ein bisschen geflüstert, dass es wohl für Streamer sehr enttäuschend sein muss mit dieser Closed Beta. Aber schauen wir mal.
Closed beta be under an NDA? Yes, to participate in the closed beta, you will need to agree to a non-disclosure agreement, meaning that you can't share any information pertaining to the closed beta or the state of the game in beta, essentially. We also ask people that are selected for the closed beta to not relay this information for a couple of reasons. In the past, when we had our closed alpha, we had people sort of bragging that they were part of the closed alpha, and that sort of
okay.
led to them getting messaged by a bunch of random people, trying to pressure them and harass them into leaking information. So we kind of want to avoid that. It can also lead to, if people are open about being in part of the closed beta, it can also lead to them becoming targets for phishing attempts.
Oh, klar, logisch, ne? Also, ja, klar. Ja, macht Sinn,
Stuff
okay.
like that. And we just want to avoid that as
Dann ist es ja, also sagen wir mal so, wenn die auf gar keinen Fall wollen, dass irgendjemand wäre in der Closed Beta drin ist, dann wäre es ja eigentlich dumm, wenn das ein Streamer ist, ne? Also dann wäre es ja dumm, wenn die überhaupt Streamer holen würden, weil dann würden die Leute ja ganz gezielt hingehen, okay, er oder sie ist aktiver Satis-Streamer, jetzt nehmen wir mal als Beispiel einfach Chaos, ist aktiver Satis-Streamer. Wenn die Streamer aktiv nehmen würden für die Closed Beta, dann könnten wir da ja, ich sag mal, gezielt versuchen, an Informationen ranzukommen, auf welchem Weg auch immer. Also macht absolut Sinn.
much as possible. So we're just gonna ask people not to disclose that they're part of the closed beta if they get selected. And this obviously also means that you can't stream or make videos or anything like that for the closed beta. It's all under wraps. Why is it a closed beta and not an open beta? This is because we don't want to unveil everything in 1.0 until like the full release.
Ja, das kann ich auch verstehen. Also, dass man eine Closed Beta draus macht, dass man wirklich nur eine kleine Personengruppe hat, die dann schon weiß, was in der 1.0 kommt, macht absolut Sinn. Weil sonst wäre ja, ach, ich sag mal, dann wäre man halt hyped auf die Beta und nicht auf die 1.0 Das ist auch
sort of wants
nachvollziehbar.
to give you that like last bit of surprise before the game comes out with all the new content that's in it. Yeah, we just want to avoid spoiling that stuff for people.
Sinn.
Do I have a higher chance of being selected if I sign up early? Nope, you can sign up whenever. You can sign up right now if you want to, or you can sign up later. You can sign up like a few days before we pull the keys, I guess. It doesn't really matter too much when you sign up. When will people be notified of whether they'll be able to join the closed beta? When the closed beta starts, essentially. We're gonna announce like when we do send out keys for the closed beta. So like the majority of you know when to get disappointed, essentially, because like a whole lot of you have signed up, and there's not going to be that many that join the closed beta. But it's super cool that so many people have signed up already. So thanks for being excited, I guess. Sorry to disappoint so many of you. I signed up for the closed alpha. Why do I have to sign up again? Because we don't have any of the signups from the closed alpha, essentially. That's all gone. So if you want to join the closed beta, you have to sign up again, I guess. Will my save file work in closed beta? Yes, but here's a bit of important information, okay? So once the closed beta is over, because the closed beta is only going to be in a limited amount of time, the save file that you've used in closed beta will not work in like older versions of the game, i.e. update 8. The save files are backwards compatible, but since you're playing a newer version, you can't use that in the current live version. So, but that save file will work once we enter 1.0. So any save file that you make in closed beta, you will be able to use that in 1.0 once it's released, but only then. And of course, going forward, so at 1.0 and forward. Will we be able to play multiplayer in the closed beta? Yes.
Ja? Closed Beta hat Multiplayer? Boah, okay. Dann mache ich jetzt mal ein wildes Foreshadowing. Closed Beta ist wahrscheinlich, also fände ich aber geil, dass die in der Closed Beta direkt Server mittesten und dann sagen, gut, okay, was weiß ich, wir packen pro Server 10 Leute drauf. Und die stellen noch Server dazu.
Also note that if you sign up for the closed beta and you signed up with the intention to play multiplayer and you have a couple of friends that you want to play with in the closed beta, please bear in mind that like if you get selected, we will have a way for you to be able to like sort of invite some of your friends to be able to join. So, you know, not all of you have to be selected to be able to play together.
Okay, das ist wild. Das ist wild. Anna kriegt die Closed Beta und der Rest kann mitzocken. Geil.
In fact, I think that's kind of unrealistic to expect that that's going to happen. So there will be some way for you to be able to invite some of your friends into the closed beta as well.
Finde ich cool. Coole Sache.
If you get selected. Will the closed beta include dedicated servers or just regular clients? It's going to be both. However, you will not be able to use any third-party server vendors.
Ja, das war klar. Natürlich keine Third-Party-Server-Vendors, also keine Hoster in dem Sinne. Also ihr könnt während der Closed Beta nicht hingehen und sagen, so, ich gehe jetzt zu meinem Hoster des Vertrauens und werde dort einen Server ausspielen. Das war aber auch klar, weil, ich sag mal, viel leichter kannst du ja auch eigentlich dann nicht die Closed-Beta-Dateien veröffentlichen, beziehungsweise jeden dazu inladen, sich die zu schnappen. Deswegen, ich gehe fast davon aus, jetzt Hot Take, dass das zutrifft, was ich eben gesagt habe, dass die selber die Dedicated Server stellen.
that. So you can essentially only play dedicated servers in the closed beta if you have your own server that you're setting up yourself.
Ach so, oder so, ja gut, okay. Dann applied das natürlich nicht. Also man kann es auf dem eigenen Server aufsetzen. Also, okay. Ich dachte jetzt, das wäre nur auf deren, was weiß ich, dass die vielleicht entsprechend die Server stellen. Aber gut, okay.
Will mods work in the closed beta? No, mods will not work in the closed beta. So if you have a save file that you've used mods on that you want to play on in closed beta, then please make sure that that save file works in vanilla first. Do number of hours played factor into who's chosen for the closed beta?
Oh,
so yes and no. We want to select like as a wide spectrum of players as possible. So we do want to have players that have played maybe, you know, thousands of hours of Satisfactory, finished the game completely, seen everything. We also want to test it on people that are, you know, starting out or in between, and also players that have never played the game. So it doesn't really matter how many hours you've played, but we do care how many hours you've played so we can sort of make our selection.
Finde ich aber auch gut, dass sie da durchmischen. Also es kommt ja was ganz anderes, also es kommt ja was ganz anderes bei raus, wenn du jetzt nur, ich sag mal, die Menschen mit 1000 Spielstunden nimmst oder nur was dazwischen oder, ne? Also von daher, finde ich einen guten Ansatz. Ganze Freundesgruppe rein. Ja, dann spielt man so mit 50 Leute auf einem Server oder so. Erstmal ein Docker-Image dafür geben, also denke ich wahrscheinlich eher per Steam-CMD. Ja, der Chromatin auch gerade geschrieben. Ich bin ehrlich, ich kenne mich da so deep nicht damit aus, muss ich ehrlich gestehen. Ich kenne es halt, wie gesagt, selber die Dinge in einem Docker aufsetzen, das ist mir wohl bekannt, aber Steam-CMD noch nie irgendwie so in dem Sinne was damit gemacht im Sinne von Serverhosten. Aber gut.
It doesn't matter like how many hours you have when you sign up, so just sign up. Can we share footage from the closed beta later, maybe after the game is released? So, no, we most likely will not allow this, and it's due to a couple of reasons that I unfortunately can't really go too deep into in this video. But I want to mention that like there's been a couple of contact creators that have reached out to me asking like, hey, is it okay if I document my experience in closed beta and then maybe, you know, release that later? But unfortunately, I think the answer is going to be the same there. I think the answer is no. And it's mainly because the primary purpose of the closed beta is really to get feedback from players. That's mainly why the closed beta is there. And to me, it feels a bit unfair when some content creators, you know, aren't able to do this just because they weren't selected to the beta. We want to be.
Jo, hat er auch recht, stimmt. Ja, guter Punkt. Also, ich meine, wenn die Leute einfach aussuchen, klar, dann hat nicht jeder Content Creator die Chance, Beta-Content zu machen. Ja, das Ding ist aber halt, ja, ich kann den Punkt verstehen, ich kann punktweit würde ich den aber auch nicht gelten lassen. Weil dann könnte man natürlich, das könnte man halt auf alle Games danach beziehen, ne? Ja, und dann ist halt auch nochmal die Frage, wie sucht man das aus? Wem gibt man dann Closed Beta, wem nicht? Ja, okay, ich kann verstehen, dass sie sich da komplett rausziehen wollen. Weil ich sag's mal so, wenn dann einer Closed Beta hat und der andere nicht und man halt dann, ich sag mal, als Außenstehender den Hintergrund des Auswahlprinzips nicht versteht, dann gibt's halt Stunk, ne? Und ich kann verstehen, warum man sich da halt gar nicht irgendwie, in Anführungszeichen, drauf hinlassen will.
Be like as fair as possible to anyone. So it kind of feels weird to, you know, allow some but not others, essentially, if that makes sense. And besides, it's not going to be anything in the closed beta that, you know, won't be in 1.0, so it's not like you're going to miss out on something. So hopefully that makes sense. It doesn't matter which platform I own the game on if I want to join the closed beta. Nope, doesn't matter. You can own it on Steam or Epic or not own it at all. It really doesn't matter. Will I need to buy the game again for 1.0 if I already own it? Nope, you bought it, you own it, it's yours. Thanks for supporting us in Early Access. We couldn't have done it without you. Okay.
Das wäre auch weird gewesen, wenn sie jetzt gesagt hätten, so, zu 1-0 werdet ihr alle wieder zur Kasse gebeten, let's go. Hätte ich jetzt auch nicht erwartet, muss ich gestehen.
Hey, that's gonna be it for now. Hopefully this is a short video. It's not. Like I mentioned in the last video, we've got a couple of videos lined up for 1.0. We don't know fully when 1.0 is coming out, so we probably won't rush these videos. We're gonna take our time and work on these. So make sure to hit that old subscribe button if you want to be notified when we drop information on 1.0.
Sowas macht nur arg. Wait a second. Also, you're telling me, dass das in Anführungszeichen neue Arc eigentlich nur die weiterentwickelte Version von dem alten Arc ist? Nee, oder? Ich dachte, das ist ein kompletter zweiter Teil. Jetzt zerstör bitte nicht meine Realität. Was mich aber noch interessieren würde, wie es dann wirklich wird, ob es dann wirklich noch DLCs gibt, Digga, reden, voll mein Ding. Oder ob die dann wirklich Richtung der Updates gehen. Das wurde ja im letzten Video schon gesagt, also entweder Gratis-Updates oder DLCs oder vielleicht eine Mischung aus beidem. Gespannt.
But until next time, see ya.
See ya! Ja! Das war's auch schon wieder mit dem Video. Vielen, vielen lieben Dank fürs Zusehen. Ach, ihr, die gerade auf YouTube gucken, Grüße an den Twitch-Chat, der euch gerade jetzt hier dabei noch begleitet hat. Ja, ich würde sagen, wir sehen uns beim nächsten Video. Tschüss.